Hey kids, do you like hand traps? Okay, well technically if you think about it, Karibo is the first ever hand trap. It's about my design, isn't it? Don't worry, I'm only really using this design for Archetype reviews. What archetype am I reviewing? Well, look at the title. The Ghost Girl, or if you prefer the other name, the Yokai Girl archetype, are a series of zombie-type tuner monsters that are level 3. Except for one, but we'll get to that one later. They activate their effects via in the hand, to help you or disrupt your opponent. If you think about it, it's usually both. To start off, we have Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. When a card or effect is activated that includes one of these effects, you can discard this card to negate that effect. Add a card from the deck to the hand, special summon from the deck, and send a card from the deck to the graveyard. You can only activate this effect of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring once per turn. If you said you never played this card at least 1, 2, maybe 3 copies of this monster in any of your deck lists, you'd be a liar. Trust me, you'll see this card in every single duel possible due to its ability to basically negate anything involving the deck. The next card is Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion. When a card or effect that includes any of these effects, you can discard this card, negate the activation. Add a card from the graveyard to the hand, deck, and or extra deck. Special summon a monster from the graveyard, banish a card from the graveyard. You can only use this effect of Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion once per turn. We have pretty much the same deal with Ash Blossom here, but only for the graveyard. It also sees quite a bit of play, especially when your opponent is trying to activate cards from the graveyard and or retrieve them back. Sadly, it doesn't stop your opponent from doing graveyard setup, like when they play Infernaroids, but it is good when they start activating the effects to banish those cards. It also stops plays like Monster Reborn too, since it's not specific of which graveyard, so you can bitch slap your opponent and say, no, don't touch my graveyard, that's my no-no zone. Continuing on, we have Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. That felt a little bit awkward to say, not gonna lie. If your opponent special summons a monster face up, except during the damage step, you can discard this card, then target one of those monsters, negate the effects until the end of this turn. Also, if that face up monster leaves the field this turn, its controller takes damage equal to its original attack. You can only activate this effect of Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill once per turn. It's okay, I guess, but I'd rather use Effect Veiler because the first half of the effect is the real reason you're gonna use this card. Plus, it's a little bit unlikely that the burn effect would kick off. So if the burn effect is going to kick in, it's most likely going to get called by the Graved. Yes, Called by the Grave is literally limited to 1, but it's in these cases that people are gonna have this in their deck. Why is it limited to 1? Because God forbid we ever negate this archetype's effects. Here we have the non-zombie monster, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. When a monster on the field activates effect, or when a spell or trap that is already face up on the field activates its effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, destroy that card on the field. You can only use this effect of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit once per turn. It's really good to use like one copy of this card because it doesn't really negate the monster before destroying it. Which means most of the time, your opponent activates their effect anyway. Konami also did try making it to where you can also send this from the field to the graveyard, but are you really gonna put this on the field? For what? Synchro material? Yes, they're tuner monsters, however, you're really only going to use their effects and that's it. Next is Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can discard this card, reveal one card in your extra deck, then look in your opponent's extra deck. Also, banish all cards in their extra deck with the same name as that revealed card. You can only activate this effect of Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries once per turn. Sure, Ghost Ogre technically already had a requirement that had to have a spell or trap already on the field, but at least it didn't ask for much. To get to the positives though, it's good for targeting more extra deck monsters like Nightmare Unicorn and Nightmare Phoenix, but then again they're more likely to play only at one copy. Getting right back to the negatives though, it's only really good for mirror matches and you telling your opponent if they want to play the same deck as you. In my opinion, this is the least useful card in this archetype. The final card for this archetype is Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. Boo! Did I scare the crap out of you? Yeah, I bet I did. During either turn, except the end phase, you can discard this card, apply this effect this turn. You can only activate this effect of Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood once per turn. Each time your opponent special summons an effect monster during the main phase or battle phase, you gain life points equal to that monster's attack. If you did not gain life points by this effect, your life points are halved during the end phase. Holy sh**, a card with a cost in this archetype. Not only this, but this is just max C, but if you're injecting yourself with steroids. But like steroids, it comes biting you in the ass, because if this card's effect gets negated, you're paying half your life points. Not really much to say about this card. It's pretty good for life point gain decks, and it has a pretty reasonable cost. Konami didn't really make these cards to be in one deck, they're more so staples that help disrupt your opponents and further support yourself. However, if you want to put your head inside your ass and make a deck with nothing but these monsters, you have no way of defending yourself and you do nothing but negate. That, and you'll gain several weird stares looking at you as you have nothing but a bunch of lollies on your deck. I was going to give a score, but that's not really possible because they're meant to just be support of one deck and not supporting each other. Yeah, we're off to a really good start with this series, I know. I wanted to make this series because I was inspired by YouTubers like Rada and Goldnova Yu-Gi-Oh! And realized I was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Nerd, so let's try this out. So if this video gets positive reception, or if I feel like it, I'll make more of these videos in the future, and I'll make a community tab to see what you all would like to see in the next video. If you do like this video, please subscribe, like, and all that YouTuber spiel business. See ya!